Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. And well, it's been confirmed the president of Iran and the foreign minister were killed in a, as they say, helicopter crash. I have here a few articles ready for you and see who did it, or if it was just a crash, hard landing, because that's what happens with the most sophisticated helicopters carrying a president. We're going to discuss that one. We're going to discuss who could have done it, why, and who do I suspect did it. I have this much trust that, this much I think that it was just a crash, a hardline crash. Now, we'll find out what the Iranians will say about that. So that's who did it, what happened. Then we're going to have who is going to replace the president in case the president dies? Who is that guy? Then we're going to show you, because we're a lot of people here, I'm going to show you how the Western media portrays these two Iranian officials, president and foreign minister. Remember, we are all moderate because we're good, and they're all extremists because we don't like them. That's how things are reasoned, and the baboons are taking that line of reasoning. So let's start with this first article. Obviously comes from the most trusted news garbage in the media, CNN. Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi and Foreign Minister confirmed dead in helicopter crash. You're gonna hear helicopter crash over and over again. Now, if indeed it crashes, so be it. What can I do? Allah will deal with them, or whomever. In that case, now, if the Iranians, let's say, if a missile hit the helicopter, I'm not saying it did, if a missile or something hit the helicopter, it's interesting because only the president and the foreign minister's helicopter was hit the fog or whatever it was. The other two helicopters were just fine. So if that was the case, a missile sent from, let's say, close by, it's Iraq, remember that one. And not only. I also said Armenia is close by, Turkey is close by, and and Azerbaijan, and the location where that occurred in the northern western part of Iran, in East Azerbaijan province or territory, however they call it. He was inaugurating a water dam. Fantastic, good. The guys are doing good, and these guys are just, whatever happens. So, if let's say a missile hit it, will the Iranians reveal that? Will they say it and provide evidence? And if not, why not? Well, we're going to discuss that one too. I think if they reveal it, that means they are weak. Yeah, they can take advantage of this. They say, we were attacked by, let's say, I'm just saying, I'm not saying it happened, by, let's say, CIA or Mossad or whomever. Right, let's say it was them. What does that prove? That your helicopter with your president and foreign minister were hit by a missile from a different country, or they planted something on your helicopter and screwed it up so it had a landing. Both ways it shows weakness, and I don't think Iran can afford showing weakness, even though they would supposedly, which nobody would believe, give them a blanche card. Okay, we're gonna do this because let's say they say Mossad did it. What are they gonna do? First you were weak, and now what? Nobody will believe you. Why? Because the media here is in full swing in babooning the baboons, working on the baboons. So let's go to the next. Remember, you're gonna find this word crash a lot. Like, okay. Now, if you hit something in the air, and from the air it just falls down, and what happens with that thing? It crashes. Okay, so all right, these guys think that we are retards, and they are, not you and I, obviously. We're the best there ever been. Associated Press: helicopter crash again that killed Iran's president and others could reverberate across the Middle East. I don't think so. Go to this one, because they're going to tell us here. It says, right here, ultra-conservative Iranian President Raisi was killed Sunday along with his foreign minister in a helicopter crash in Iran's remote northwest, injecting fresh uncertainty as the country's hardline clerical establishment navigates rising regional tensions and domestic discontent. So they're the bad dudes and so on. Right? Right. So let's go to the third article. Reuters. Iran's hardliner President Ebrahim Raisi killed in helicopter crash. So do we have hardliners here in America? Yeah, you know who they are? The ones that the club out there don't like Trump, which I leave 10% for Trump to be part of them. And we just, for the baboons, like now I have to include ourselves over there as well. Sorry. They say, oh, look, you got a champion, fights for your things, fights. Who, when he's in power, does what? What did he do? Oh, well, as I have the theory, not the theory, it was obvious that his bureaucrats that he appointed screwed him over and over and over. Why? They didn't do what he said. So, yeah, he's a champion like that. I want to see things happen. So he did a few things. But not too much. As executive order, you can write 50,000 executive orders when you get in office. How many did he write? Let's say with the DACA people. Did he do anything? No. With the border? No. Well, he doesn't have jurisdiction. He does that by the time he's challenged in court in about, 5 years, he's out of office. So I have doubts about it. So remember, who is not a hardliner here? The ones that do the bidding of those interests that have this country grabbed by the balls. Those are the moderate guys, even though they are left, or whatever it needs to be. It depends how they dictate. The wind blows left, they go left, right, they go right. All right, let's go back to this article. So again, I picked this article because of the hardliner. Maybe he was hardliner, but don't you think that these guys who start wars and fuel wars are not hardliners? How many wars Iran started? How many did it start? Or were involved in a war? Last one was, and I'm not considering what happened with Israel, there was not a war, okay? I'm considering the one with Iraq. Who were behind Iraq? Who provided Iraq? Saddam Hussein, and then they hanged. Who provided him with, how do you call them, chemical weapons? Was it the British? I'm just asking, I can't remember exactly. Was it? All right, so leave me, please, let's go. Next one. Associated Press. Look, we got another hardliner. Iran's foreign minister Hossein Amirabdollahian, a hardline diplomat, dies in helicopter, again, crash. It's crash and hardliners. That means you're kind of, if a good person would have died, like us, would have been a problem. But these guys, kind of like, you understand why these guys, where they are going. Now, this is Agence France Presse. Hossein Amir Abdollahian, Iran's anti-Western top diplomat. Okay, so he died right here. Who died in a helicopter, pop. So and it says here, was known for his fierce anti-Israel sentiment and skepticism of the West. First, these guys lump Israel with the West. Don't lump that. They're not together. Israel is with burning bush. We are with Plato and Socrates. So, no. All right? Those are with goat herders, and cutting their... and so on. The other guys were other things, They were, I can't even put them together. So no, there's not Western Judeo-Christian civilization. Leave it to the baboons, all right? Nevertheless, they always lump it together. Now, let me ask you this question. Let's say you have a neighbor, okay, over there. And the neighbor wants something from you, and you don't want to give it to him. Are you anti-neighbor? Or you're pro-you? Let's say the neighbor wants to build a fence by your property. And he's going to talk to you, and you say, well, you got to go at least 1 foot on your property so you can paint your, let's say, fence, wooden, whatever, wall you're going to build over there. You're not going to come on my property, okay? And he says, no, I'm going to build. So you have a problem with the situation. Are you anti-neighbor or are you pro-you? When do you switch from I'm for me, and then you get anti, and then you get to the anti-he? So if, let's say, Iran makes a decision on something of national security on its own interest against other countries' interest, does it mean that that's anti this and anti that? If that's the case, then it turn again the table, and it's the same thing to the other guys. When they make a decision that is on their own interest, does it mean they're anti this or anti that? No. If I like the color white, doesn't mean I like color black. I don't like color black, or I'm anti-black. No, I simply don't like that. I like that, even though black is my favorite color, black and white. So nevertheless, don't give me that, those are not colors. Okay, how is a color formed? By attracting or reflecting light, right? So this is a lot of reflection. The other one is a lot of attraction, maximums, extremes. We can't have it that way, right? All right. So what do we have here? Let's go to the next one. So remember, when they tell you this guy is an anti this and anti that, he might be pro that and pro that. Like this anti-Israel protest. Okay, you can look at it as pro-Palestine or Palestinians protest. Depends on what side you are and which direction you want to push the narrative or the reality. You can look at them both ways. But hardliner and so on. Let's go to the next article. This is from ABC News. Iranian vice president to become acting president until election, Supreme Leader says. So, the president was killed. Who's next is going to be the vice president, the acting, until elections will be held again. The new president will be elected in 50 days and run the country for 4 years. All right. London, we know that one. And who is this guy? Who is Mohammed Mokhber? The man set to become Iran's interim president, and they're going to tell us probably he's another hardliner over here or something. Here are some key facts about this guy. He's 68 years old. Iran's first vice president who, based on the country's constitution, is expected to become interim president following the death of Ibrahim Raisi in a helicopter crash. As interim president, he is part of a 3-person council along with a speaker of parliament and the head of judiciary that will organize a new presidential election within 50 days of the president's death. He was born in 1955, September 1st. Like Raisi is seen as close to Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, but he has to be, what you're talking about. You're not, you're the vice president of Biden. Are you not for Biden? I mean, idiotic. Or Lloyd Austin. He was appointed by these guys, right? So he has to be, I mean, Jesus Christ. All right, so he will be this guy, part of a team of Iranian officials who visited Moscow in October. So obviously he is dirty with blood. And agreed to supply surface-to-air missiles and drones to Russia's military. Well, that's not been proven. Was it? Did they send? They said they did. Remember, Iran challenged the Ukrainians and the Americans in front of the United Nations to provide the evidence, and they shirked, left. All right? Sources. Okay, sources. I have my sources. If I have my sources that, let's say, Romania gave weapons to United States of America, would that be available? I'm not going to disclose my sources because of the confidentiality policies that Emil Kosman has. All right? So, go off. But, hey, they have people familiar with the issue or confidential or anonymous. These are the words. The team also included 2 senior officials from Okay. He has previously been the head of SETAD, an investment fund linked to the Supreme Leader. Okay, so let's see. Let's analyze this. Do we agree that the presidents, the vice presidents, the top military guy, the guys in charge of a country should have, and will have the best, how should I put it, technology at hand? Like, we'll have the best car that will not be blown up by people. We'll have the best helicopter. We'll have the best plane, with all the features that no other plane or helicopter will have. I think that's a given. So I think Raisi's helicopter was the best Iran had. So in order for Raisi to just have a crash because it was fog, I think that's idiotic. Is it possible? Yeah. How much I give it? 0.001% that it was a crash because, I don't know, it was fog. First, helicopters as airplanes, they don't operate visually mostly. They have, little panel. That's what they do when it's fog. So they go by that. Do you think that was screwed in a president's helicopter? How many helicopters do you hear crashing or airplanes in the United States of America with flying all over the time. How many do you hear crashing? And you hear the Iran's president crashed? Nah. I mean, remember Lebed, Colonel Lebed? I don't think he got to be general. He died in an, again, helicopter crash because he was challenging some people. Who are those? Remember, when Yeltsin was in power, the U.S. Secretary of State was behind him in his re-election campaign. Remember? They were over there advising him. So, but Lebed died in, again, helicopter crash. Is it possible? As I said, yeah, it's possible, this much. Now, what are the, I would say, the narrative? Who could be the che bono? Who benefits, right? Well, first, could be an outside plot, and could be an inside plot, and or an accident. Correct? Correct. Now, with accident, we push it to the side because I think that's the lowest right there. I mean, the lowest of the three. The first one could be an internal fight. They wanted to eliminate this guy, which is, you know, do something at his helicopter or hit him with a missile. When these helicopters fly, they have a, I don't know how you call it, no, it's not channel. I don't know exactly how it's called. Corridor, flight corridor. So in that one, they know exactly from point A, from point B, wherever they go and so on. The air defenses are ready for exactly this kind of situation when some people might want to hit you hard. So that was, do you think that these guys just fly and the military is just playing chess or whatever they play over there? No, they're active for exactly something that could happen. So who could do that? I think could be, I'm not saying it is. I don't know, could be other countries, let's say maybe United States of America, maybe Great Britain, maybe Israel, and maybe other players that we don't know, but I don't think that anybody will get Iran by the collar to, hey, what are you going to... No. I think these three countries are the biggest suspects in the investigation, I think. If a missile hit them or something on board screwed it up. Like, I don't know what happened. Mossad is very good at that, by the way. And other countries have a good... The Russians are not that good because, you know, when they try to poison things or people, they usually are unsuccessful. So those guys need to go to be trained in Great Britain. MI6 are very good at it. Mossad, okay. And CIA, not really, because we have diversity, inclusion, and equity. So when you have a diversity higher, that guys, I know, I'm not going to go into that too much. So these are the three. And then the third one will be internal fight. Someone want to get rid of this guy, internal. I mean, after all, the Iranians are humans, aren't they? Correct. So they have wishes, and yeah, you might like this or you might like that, but don't you think that's not an infight, or that's not interest, let's say, in the, how do you call it, Xi Jinping, let's say, government? They're working against one another. It's not like, oh, it's a monolithic, right, leadership. No, it's not. So the same here. Could be something inside Iran that did not like what this guy did. I don't know, he didn't order to, I don't know, flatten whatever country or something. We don't know. And also, it's the power. Maybe the vice president wanted to be the president, and he didn't. Oh my God, this guy's not going to die. I'm 68. Jesus Christ. How much longer? Let's do it. All right? I'm just saying it's possible. I think it's more possible than the first alternative, like, ooh, baby. I don't think that's... Anyway, we'll find out. The problem is, if the Iranians come and say, let's say it was a missile or something. I say, it was the missile, it was that country. These guys here will say, that's a lie. All the evidence they're going to supply is going to be, no, it's a lie. Baboons, take it easy. Go and eat your fleas and stay over there. That's a lie, right? And that would show weakness. What do you mean in your country these guys are able to hit your presidential helicopter? What are you talking about, all right? Or, as I said, they will say, no, it was a crash. We're tough, man. We're tough. We're not, but they're going to go under the other channels and say, we're going to queue up. And that opens the door to what I said many times before with the Ukraine war. There are going to be some bad things happening to some leaders. You see, only the bad leaders are bad leaders, you know, are eliminated. I don't know. It's a act of God, I guess. The good leaders are protected, like Biden, and all the other tards. All right, my friends. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.